Welcome to the North Avenue Lounge. I am pleased to have live guests in the studio, such a rare occurrence. Two members of the Heligoats are here with me. I've got Chris Otepka. Is that right?
Yes.
Hey, I wrote that down, and now I'm freaking out about it. And Steve Mitchell.
Hey.
Hey. So, real quick, let me do a sound check. What'd you guys have for breakfast this morning?
Varsity.
Oh, no. How was the varsity, Steve?
Oh, it was great. I had some French fries and a naked dog. Tasted great.
Right on.
We didn't realize how hungry we were when we woke up, but then when we got to town here, it was necessary, and there was something available just right down the street there.
So you have been on tour now for about a month.
Yeah, we left the Chicago metropolitan area March 13th. So headed west through Iowa, Nebraska, Colorado, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas.
How many shows is that?
I think we've done 30 in just a little over 32 days, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And is that regular? I mean, is that normally what a tour goes like for you?
Yeah, we've done this a few times now. It's been really fun this time. For some reason, there's a bit more fatigue that has set in, but I think it's only just been because we've been having that much more fun on this trip. But yes, it's regular to tour that much.
What makes a tour fun versus work?
Staying rested.
Yeah, I guess the good balance of rest and food and shows, I guess, that we've been looking forward to, just following up on a lot of places that we've been to before and just getting back to familiar faces and places and continuing the party that we kind of started the last time, I guess.
So you're based in Chicago?
Yes, I'm based in Washington.
Oh, sorry, Washington.
But we are from Chicago originally, yeah.
Gotcha. And have you been out in the Southwest? Have you been based in the Southwest before? Or when you say continuing the party, is that just all the places you've been already?
Yeah, it's just fun to return to some old haunts, I guess, some familiar spots. Yeah, continuing the party, I don't know, that just kind of slipped out. Maybe it's just returning to clean up the mess or continue the party.
Nice. And when I was doing my research on the Heligoats and Chris in particular, there's a lot of multiple band credits for you, for Chris, and then for everybody involved in this whole project. So can we do a family tree real quick?
Sure. I guess things kind of started with a band called Troubled Hubble that I was in, and we used to come to Atlanta, and we would tour quite heartily, and that lasted until 2006. And then, I suppose the Heligoats started first, and then Troubled Hubble formed out of the Heligoats, and then after 2006, got into Heligoats full-time, and then 2007, absolved a band from Chicago called Hungry Mountain, who became the Heligoats full band. And that was in 2008, and it's been the same kind of core band since then. In the middle all there, I guess I joined Clem Snide from Nashville and toured with them, and I was able to bring Heligoats full band and also open for them solo. And it's a family, it's a tree, I suppose, but it's more like a systemic fungal slime mold that just dwells below the forest floor.
I was going to try and compare it to a movable feast, but now that you've brought the fungus into it, I'm just going to dodge that. So, Steve, you're part of Hungry Mountain.
Yes.
That's your band.
Uh-huh.
And what is are your fingers in any other pies also at this point?
Really, it's just the Heligoats and Hungry Mountain. Like he said, Chris is living out in Washington now, so when he goes back there, we still want to play music. So the rest of the band kind of do this Hungry Mountain thing and play around the Chicago area.
Gotcha. Do you have to, and either one of you answer this, do you have to really change how you're thinking about the band you're in or the songs you're playing when you do different names? Or is it just kind of a convenience to be one name or the other when you're playing?
Well, sometimes when Hungry Mountain's playing, we accidentally start playing Heligoats songs. and vice versa.
Now, how does that accidentally, like, you just start a chord because you want to, or
Whoops. Whoa, that one, how'd that one slip in there? No,
And Heligoats play Hungry Mountain songs and Clem Snide songs. So I guess if we just approach it that we're all in it together, and yeah, the mentality is kind of that more than anything. But yeah, to collaborate and to find new and different songs and arrangements, it's, I suppose, always a different experience.
do the fans participate in silos? I mean, do you have Clem Snide fans that would not go to a Heligoats show, or are people fans of you and talk to you about all your work, or do they choose a band and get into it?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think it's all kind of it's open. There's just like full disclosure. We're not trying to, hide behind any sort of band moniker.
You're not putting on masks so that people don't know that.
Oh, no,
hey, that's the same band I saw last night.
We still wear the masks every now and then, but the Lucha Libre masks. But no, I think that I think Snide fans are Hungry Mountain fans, are Heligoats fans, friends. We're all Facebook friends here, I guess.
So do you have individual members who branch out and connect with other bands? I mean, does this sort of cross pollination, does it continue on to other scenes, other states?
Yeah, for sure. I started a little band, or joined a little band in Bellingham called the Librarians, and
hey, right on.
It's a little chamber pop band, and we definitely play Heligoat songs, and their trumpet player Joel Ricci and I have played and written songs, and Joel goes on tour with March 4th Marching Band, and has played all over the country. And yeah, there's a small contingent, I guess. There's a little Kiss Army, I guess, out there.
Do you write with particular groups or co-conspirators in mind? Or when you write a song, does it reveal who's going to play it in the process of recording it or of writing it?
No, I don't think I've ever... No, it's always just about just seeing what it inspires, from anybody else who would like to collaborate. Maybe in a few moments I've had kind of specific ideas in mind for somebody's, specific flavorings, seasonings, but no, I think the fun comes out of it when you just see what kind of what it inspires from your friends.
Steve, you said off air that you just add a sprinkling sometimes to a Chris song.
Yeah.
Can you describe that in more technical terms?
Well, basically with the Heligoats project, mostly Chris will come up with the song and have the words, the chords and whatnot already ready, and he'll approach us. So we'll just sprinkle a little melody on there, do a little sprink.
Thank you for making it technical.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually really, and as someone who doesn't play music and doesn't compose with other people, I mean, it's sort of like, this is inside the black box for me. Like, Chris, do you find that you have to accept the extra melody that Steve brings, or does it just sort of does it seem right when he does it? Like, what's the process of being a songwriter and having someone else kind of come in on the song?
I guess it's a lot like touring. You just got to learn to live with it. No, not at all. We work it out. For sure. And yeah, if something doesn't feel right, then we just kind of work with it until it does. That's the fun part, I guess.
So tell me a little bit about touring. What happens when you go from day-to-day life to suddenly being jammed together with what I assume are friends, but in real close proximity?
They were friends.
Yeah, we're not anymore.
So yeah, tell me about what happens when you start a tour, and then when you get because you're almost at the end of the tour now, right?
Yes, this is a triumphant stop through Atlanta. We feel very thrilled and lucky and fortunate that our van has been just doing very well, performing like a champion.
We should all knock wood right now.
Okay. All right. Everybody's got that. That's good. I don't think it needs it because, like, I've said it a couple times, and I don't want to sound overconfident. But, we're very thrilled that we have a vehicle that was able to hit, carry us around 10,000 miles in a month, and yeah, it's been good. The tour's been easy breezy. I know you can also knock on wood for that too, because it's not quite over yet. But last year I did about 100 shows, and 50 or 60 of them were solo, and so I was driving around solo quite a bit. So it feels really good to have the band out and other band members behind the wheel, and being able to stare out the window and think about things. And the drives have been really good this time. We've got a heavy dose of all kinds of weather: snow and sun and sand and water and mountains. And so, yeah, it was a crazy trip. Still kind of is.
Yeah. So such a small percentage of the time you're actually on tour is playing. I mean, do you all feel like sometimes the shows are breaking up the actual tour?
No.
You know what I mean?
The shows are necessary. We kind of sit on the edge of our seats all day. There's a lot of hurrying up to wait, but there hasn't been any. It feels like on this trip there hasn't been any kind of downtime that has been exceptionally
painful.
Yeah, no, everything's been really smooth.
I feel like the shows kind of recharge you.
Yeah.
When you play the show after a show coming off, a long drive.
Yeah, the shows are like food, I guess, in
Yeah.
a way.
You definitely feel more amped up right after the show. Oh, that's what we drove here for. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
What happens to the songs say this month? What happens to a song after it's been played for a month?
We stopped playing it.
We grow tired of it. No, I think if anything, the dynamics will just start to become more dynamic. Yeah, we'll just have a little bit more fun with the song as you get to play it night after night for 20, 30 nights. I think it just becomes more of an appendage and something that you can really manipulate and have fun with. And so yeah, the comfort kind of grows, and so you're like the experimentation gets a little more deep, I guess. If anything happens, that's probably what happens. Just
if anything happens.
Yeah.
Do any of them end up unrecognizable at the end of a tour? Any of the songs?
That's a cool question. I mean, I'm sure in some ways parts of songs completely transform, for sure. Yeah, and we'll with the full band, we'll leave some space to get a little psychedelic, or just to kind of jump off the cliff a little, but always reeling it back in.
Are you road testing anything that's not on the record?
I had a couple of little solo ditties, I guess. We've been trying to road testing, I guess. I never thought of it like that, but sure. Yeah.
I mean, I've heard people say that the songs that have not been recorded that they're playing, that they call that road testing.
Yeah, totally. I'd like to think we are road testing many songs, and to hopefully record soon again, for sure.
Nice. Okay, we're going to take a little break. I'm talking to Chris and Steve from the Heligoats, and you're listening to WREK Atlanta.
The Subgenius Hour of Slack.
Yeah, that's Subgenius.
These are people who are seriously suffering from a major problem.
Yeah, ain't it groovy?
The media is the key to power.
For the love of Bob. Yeah, what's the matter with that? Disgusting.
Oh, my goodness, I'm stunned.
You think I'm crazy, right?
There's no stopping the bomb as it spreads from town to town.
Making sense so far? Well, don't worry about it, kids. I don't understand a word of it either.
The Subgenius Hour of Slack. Saturdays at midnight. WREK Atlanta, 91.1 FM.
Repent, quit your job, slack off, and play ball!
Hey, Amit, we got to do a new promo.
That time of year.
You can choose the music, though. What would you like to hear?
Something with cake.
New Sea and Cake just came in.
That sounds awesome. Thrill Jockey.
All right, let me pull that up.
Lost in the Stacks is the one and only research library rock and roll radio show. Each Friday at noon, Amit and Charlie from the Georgia Tech Library pick a theme and free associate an hour of music, interviews, and library talk.
You'll hear indie rock, pop rock, alt rock, new wave, and the occasional oddity that one of us pulls out of the vault in between interviews with students, faculty, and librarians.
That's Lost in the Stacks on WREK Atlanta every Friday at noon right here on 91.1 FM.
And we're back. You're listening to the North Avenue Lounge on WREK Atlanta, and I apologize for playing a promo for my other show, but I am a shameless self-promoter. I'm talking to Chris Otepka and Steve Mitchell from the Heligoats, who are just finishing up their massive American tour. You've been in too many states.
Yeah, we didn't do any East Coast, but this is as far east as we get, but yeah, it was still kind of massive, though there was more we could do, and we've been saying that we feel like we could keep going, even though we're 30 dates in.
How much control do you have over your tour? Like where it goes and how long it goes?
Every tour is kind of different and built around different invitations and built around different just show offers and I guess ideas. So yeah, we have pretty much full control. We don't have a booking agent. We take care of it all of ourselves. And this trip was booked around the Treefort Music Fest in Boise, Idaho for the middle of March. And we just kind of put a week on the front of that and a couple weeks on the back of it.
How do the invitations and offers come through?
I think just through kind of staying active and keeping our, sending our music out and having done tours, I guess, pretty regularly for about 10 years. There's like the contacts, I guess, are there. And
so do people say, hey, when you're on tour, come see us? Or do they say, I see that you're going on tour, come play here? What's the...
Yeah, there's all kinds, all sides of that, I guess.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah. And or next time you're going to tour, keep us in mind. And so, yeah, we'll have a good time piecing together shows.
Nice.
With that, yeah.
And the record label gave you a van? Loaned you a van? Yeah,
the label in Portland has done well with other bands, and so we get to benefit from that. There's been good licensing spots for other bands on the label, and so it has. Yeah, they've been able to buy a minivan that we're able to use, and so we did the brake job on it, and we'll keep it maintained and everything. But it is for our free use, and
nice.
And yeah, they like it when we tour.
I'm coming from such a naive place. I just sort of assumed that, like, a label came up with an itinerary and said, here you go play these places. But it sounds like you build the tour yourself, and you sort of get a little bit of support from the label. Yeah,
that's how it goes. It'd be great if there was some in-house booking at Grade A Records, or if they were affiliated with some booking help. Most times labels will have that as part of what they offer bands. But our label's cool. They're just a few people and kind of small DIY style in Portland, Oregon, and the van has been so clutch. We couldn't ask for anything more from them, for sure.
Nice. I'm glad we knocked wood earlier. I've been putting this off because I'm worried now about the technical details, but I'd like to play something from the record. So this is from Back to the Ache. All right. Why Back to the Ache?
Because there are, after the record was done, after we recorded 13 songs, there were just a lot of familiar, not themes, but lyrical choices. And so that word ache shows up quite a bit. And being from the Midwest, sometimes you'll hear people say the word egg, and it'll sound like ache. And you'll hear the word pillow or milk, and people will say pillow or milk. And there's a Paul McCartney record called Back to the Egg that could very well sound like Back to the Ache, and we just kind of went with that, and then ended up taking the cover image from the Paul McCartney record and doing a spoof on it for our record. And it just came together without any sort of without too much thought, or without overthinking it as well. So
all right,
yeah,
let me see if I can play track 3. Looks like Dre Zitch to me. How do you say it?
It's pronounced Dry Zeke. It's a Yiddish term for keep moving.
Nice. All right, bear with me while I try and make this happen. All right. That was a city premiere, possibly state, maybe even world premiere of a song from the new record by the Heligoats, Back to the Ache. Chris, you want to tell us about that song in particular?
Sure. We had our friend Nate Lantham from a band called Troubled Hubble, which was my first previous band, playing the drums. Nate Lantham's playing the drums. Our producer, engineer friend Eric Rasmussen is also playing the drums.
Raz.
And we have Nick Lombardo playing the piano. The song is just inspired by the Yiddish phrase "Dry Zeke," to just keep moving. It wasn't picked up from anywhere other than just a collection of Yiddish folk songs and on a old record that I had, and so we had a good time recording it. It's upbeat, and the vocals were done first in Chicago, but then again in Portland, where the record was finished.
Done again. Did you replace vocals, or did you re-sing? What do you mean by again?
I kind of doubled them up out in Portland as we were finishing, as I was finishing vocals for everything else. So it came out a little bit more screamy and yelly than we had originally planned. But I think that the drums just kind of picked the whole song up and made it a little bit more exciting. So.
Yeah, it sounds like top down, rolling down a hill, nice. Getting faster. Mm-hmm. So what do you have when you arrive at the studio for recording? When you're going to do an album, what do you bring to the studio, and then what happens in the studio?
In the past, there have been, pretty complete demos of songs. For this most recent record, there was a pretty good balance of completed songs and songs that were just kind of ideas, and half-finished songs without all the words or without all of the parts. So this time through, there was definitely more writing in the studio than there has been in the past. But we go into the studio just kind of wanting to jam, just wanting to play. No other hopes, no expectations.
Are the mics on all the time, picking up whatever you play, or do you have sort of separate times of just jamming, fooling around, and then now we're going to record?
Yeah, there is some structure to it for sure, but we were also allowed to record, as late into the night as we wanted, and our friend let us sleep in the studio and just wake up in the morning and start again when we were ready.
You have a relationship with the studio, right?
Yes.
This has been your constant companion?
Yes. We did 3 records there, and that should probably be it for a while so we don't overstay our welcome. So we have to find another place to flop, another studio to flop in. But
are studios like hotels? I mean, do you show up and check in, and then when it's done, you leave?
Pretty much, yeah. I would say so.
Yeah, they're very expensive hotels, and you're kind of hurrying to, work through as much as you can in an absurdly short amount of time in order to save money. Mm. But you put that in the back of your head, and yeah, just try to hit that continental breakfast to make it all worth it, I guess.
So you got the album recorded, and then you said off air that you went to Portland with the record and then did more work?
Yes, we finished all the tracking in Chicago, and then I was lucky enough that the label in Portland has a relationship with Jackpot Studios and with Larry Crane, and so we were able to go and finish the vocals and some tracking in Portland with a guy named Larry Crane, who runs Tape Op magazine and a really cool studio, Jackpot, and so that was just really fortunate. So then after Portland, we took the record, I guess, back to Chicago and finished it there.
So in Portland, did you end up singing along to your record in a box a lot? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I slept in like this dingy basement room at my friend's house for 2 weeks, and then every day I would walk from. It was always raining, and this was April of last year. I would walk to the studio and, just kind of scream my lungs out for 8 hours, and then we'd mix stuff around, and we'd go back and do it the next day. It was a couple weeks of doing that.
Does that make a record strange when it's recorded in different places?
I think when it's not recorded live, there's always going to be a little bit of strangeness that you're trying to, I guess, just lessen, just to dampen the strangeness, to try to fuse it all together to make it feel live. We've always been fans of like the multi-tracking and tracking, I think, and crafting a record, even though we're kind of more of a live rock band. The records do come out a little bit more strange.
So if you're constructing a record in the studio, how do you know when you're done?
You don't. You just abandon it. It's it's never done. You just find a time to just, it either gives up on you or you give up on it or abandon it and just...
Okay, now I'm really interested in the record giving up on you. What does that mean?
I don't know if that's happened yet. Stop singing me! No, I don't know. You just kind of trust in that there's a relationship between, the player and the song, I think. And if it's an explored relationship, if it's developed enough, I guess you'll both know when it's time to just let the other one be.
When do you know if a record's a successful record? And I say that knowing that a successful record probably has a different definition in both of your heads and everyone else's. So for you personally, both of you, when is a record successful or not?
When it's put out, when it's released, because then you've made the record, you've made the documentation of that time, I think. So I think the finish line is the release, and then it's time to definitely enjoy it and celebrate that, and also be open to other new songs and ideas for records. What do you think, Steve?
That record's not a very successful record. No, I think it's a success when I like it, personally. For me, if I like the record, then that's successful,
Do you wait to make that decision until after it's released, or do you decide before it's pressed?
I don't. That decision just comes. I don't know. I can't. There's no time limit on that decision. I suppose, like, sometimes it takes me a while to like a record, or sometimes, I like it right away. And with this one, I'm still. Yeah, I like it now. I like Back to the Egg.
As of right now, it's a breakthrough.
Excellent. On air. All right, you're listening to WREK Atlanta. This is the North Avenue Lounge. My guests today are Chris Otepka and Steve Mitchell from Heligoats. I'm going to play another song from this possibly successful record, Back to the Egg. This is a song called Tofuti. Maybe I should ask you now, why is this song called Tofuti?
Oh, it's there's a scene in that movie Overboard with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn where Tofuti Klein is a Hollywood starlet who is invited to a party of a widower and on a yacht, and she's the symbol for sadness and loneliness. And I didn't know that Tofuti was also a vegan delight until well into writing the song. So it was just kind of the fusion of a breakup song and I think that the strange adolescent picking up your adolescent brain picking up the strange messages of an old movie, and then also the strange messages of a vegan company. I'm really not sure why the song's called Tofuti.
I got to tell you something, and I mean this sincerely. I am so happy that Kurt Russell came up organically on air on a show I'm doing. I'm totally serious. This might be the best moment I've had
All right.
live on the North Avenue Lounge.
Dean Prophet, Overboard.
All right, let's do Tofuti.
Good for the world, good for you. It's good for nothing, but it's all you can do to see the goodness in others when you let yours shine through. But the dark hidden in our hearts can't just be removed with a fork and a knife and a spoon, unless it's fair. Considering these twisted thoughts for food, a tofuti taught me a lesson that I did not deserve to learn. Had a taste and fell right back to the ache. I just want to feel good again. So Foodie says it's too late to feel good from now on. To turn off the cues, to tell all the others to stop their pursuit, to take to my brain with them ice cream, scoop, and the part that controls my heart will be removed. And with a smile served to you, with a fork and a knife and a spoon. Good for the world, good for you. It's good for nothing, but it's all you can do.
That was Tofuti by the Heligoats from the album Uh-Oh. There we go. From the album, not Uh-Oh, but Back to the Ache. Did you think about calling it Uh-Oh?
No, that never crossed our mind.
So, when did you know that Tofuti was a vegan delight? When did you find that out?
I think somewhere during the process of writing the song, but it was always inspired by Tofuti Klein.
Yeah, because I heard the knife and a fork lines. Yeah, did that come from the realization, or was that in the...
Yeah, definitely. I suppose switching the focus from just kind of strange matters of the heart to strange matters of the eating world and
edible world.
Yeah, it's just and just trying to draw any sort of parallels that were possible.
So you started as a full band at the beginning of the tour, and you guys are now the duo that we're listening to right now, playing. How many shows have you done as just the duo?
Let's see.
5?
I think we're 4 or 5 now since we lost our drummer and our bass player.
Does anybody know where they are?
We have an idea about where one of them is. Yes, but
you knew when the tour started that you were going to have to split up in the middle of it. Is that right?
We did. Yes. Yeah. We flew them home and away and back to their occupations. And
so, how do you plan for something like that? How do you plan for changing sort of midstream how the shows go?
I think we've done it in all different arrangements enough now to where it's always kind of a comfortable arrangement, and there's always exciting aspects about. However, I think we've had as many as 6 or so playing, and I also play solo, and everybody's got their own parts. There've been a lot of different inceptions of the band, we've had 4 or 5 different drummers and lots of different, string players, and everybody's got their own part. We could have everybody who's ever played a Heligoats song play a song together, and everybody, it seems like, would have their own kind of style and their own part.
Do you guys have the same set list every night?
No, not at all.
Okay, so do you drop some songs or bring new songs in when you change from full band to stripped down to solo or duo?
Oh, it's definitely been opened up now that we've gotten the rhythm section out of our way. We get to be a little bit more squirrely, and so.
What does that mean for playing? Getting squirrely.
We can. It's just fun to hear the songs move in different ways, I guess, and yeah, the set list can get a lot more goofy because, we don't have to worry about the drummer sitting there with his arms folded if we decide to go off on any sort of tangents or tales. So it feels a little bit, more experimental, even though the full band will also kind of get strange and
it's real jazzy now.
Are you doing
Freeform
improv in the show? Do you have pieces that are you don't know what you're going to play before you start them, or improv in the middle of songs?
Sometimes I play trumpet, and
Chris,
sometimes I play
Why are you
French
laughing at
horn.
trumpet.
Because he only plays the French horn, he's only just wished he could play the trumpet. I don't know. He's starting to get a little loopy.
Radio is a lie detector. That's what happens.
Yeah.
How many instruments do you all play? Actually, let me start a little more specific. How many instruments do you all play on tour?
I play one.
I also play one, and I sing.
So you were lying to me completely about the French horn?
No, I play the French horn is the instrument I play.
That's the one instrument.
No, yeah, I play the guitar when we're on the road, just the guitar.
Okay. Are you a multi-instrumentalist on the record?
Yes.
Yeah, we play piano, and I've drummed on our records before, and I think of myself as a drummer first.
Do you?
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Did you write songs as a drummer at first, or?
Yeah, I was playing in some bands, some kind of punk bands in Chicago, and I had a great time. I started playing drums when I was 16, and just after a long time of doing that, I felt like I wanted to play songs that I enjoyed, and so the songs that I started writing would start with a drum beat, I guess, first, and then I'd find the melody after. The melody and the notes only after having the drum beat, kind of like a rapper. I guess I would try to rap first and then play music.
It's different now, though?
Yeah, now it's definitely more singer-songwriter based for sure on the guitar.
How long did you say you've been playing?
Since I was 16, I started playing drums, so over 15 years.
Do you ever imagine that your style or sort of your song concerns will change in the next 15 years dramatically? Do you ever imagine what future songs might be like?
As we approach the singularity?
I hope we're not even close to the singularity. But if that's on your event horizon.
Oh, I haven't thought about it, but it is an adventure. So I'm totally up for it, even though I'm not putting too much thought into the down the road preparation. Hopefully it's just kind of is happening either way. Steve, where are you going to be in 15 years?
That's a good question. I feel like maybe working at a Kmart.
Somewhere
there's still Kmarts around. Yeah, I guess you're right. Oh, damn, I'm out of a job. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited to be playing music and whatever. You know, we both have wide ranges of influences. So who knows what the next 15 years will be for us musically.
What's some stuff that you all listen to that maybe your fans would be really surprised is part of your taste?
We've had this conversation on this trip, and we've bummed some people out.
Some people were bummed out.
Okay, well, hold on. If this would bum you out, you may want to turn the radio down for the next 3 minutes.
To hear that we like Mariah Carey and
Whitney Houston.
Damn.
Totally cranking Mariah Carey, though. She's got a good catalog. You can go both ways on that one, you know. 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Yeah, it's all good. It's really... we listen to everything. We are completely musically omnivorous.
Do you sometimes think to yourself, I'm just listening to this. This doesn't have anything to do with my day job, my musician job?
I think it all applies. I think inspirations come from every little note. Yeah, we consume a lot of music, I think. Wholeheartedly and happily. There aren't any sort of like prejudices against any styles or flavors or eras or anything. Mm-hmm. We're excited about music.
Yeah.
And so, but when we do name specific artists that we don't have problems with,
some people have a problem with that.
Some people will definitely, yeah.
So you said Mariah Carey. Was that an actual event that you told someone you liked Mariah Carey and they really didn't like that?
Yeah,
they were bummed.
It changed their thoughts.
They're like,
about us.
No, but what rock music do you like?
What do you think was that just a fan or was that a journalist of some kind? What was?
Yeah, it was a fan friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I suppose.
So what do you think was going on there when they had an adverse reaction to who you listened to?
They were probably just having a bad day. Because you can't immediately say that.
I felt we were coming in the middle of a debate, and he was debating to his other buddy.
I suppose
that, you know, these people like only good music, and they're like, right, what you listen to? Mariah Carey? No.
We bummed this guy out. He lost that debate.
Yeah.
And we were no help.
What is there anything that you aren't able to bring into a show or into your sort of public performance that you'd like to be able to bring in music-wise? You're talking about sort of being noodly jazz-like, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's something else that you really appreciate but you can't bring into the tour.
I suppose, you know, we make it interactive, but if we had a slideshow, that would really help illustrate some of the things in these stories and some of the song descriptions. So
there's laughter in the studio, but you're serious, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of slides would you throw up there?
Just ones that support the abstract lyrics and just kind of help with the song, relaying the song, I guess.
Okay, this is we're going to get goofy then. So
Okay.
I want you to picture the slide for whatever song you're about to play.
Okay.
And then tell us about the slide after you play the song.
Okay.
What would you like to play for us?
I'll play a song called Heat Vents.
So
Is that all right?
I guess. Is it by Mariah Carey?
No, but it might have some very deep influence.
Go ahead and bring that other mic down, and we'll try and do a sound check here. Okay, I think we're good if you play like that.
Okay.
If you really belt it out, if you'll just tilt your head back.
For sure. All right, I got the slide in mind. I suppose it could be a slideshow that, you know, if it was done digitally, the slides could be all taken day of. And so we could easily describe our daily activities easier. I guess we could do that with some photographic evidence. Anyways, I'll play this heat vent song. Yesterday I got lost in a heat vent twice. I know I should have just kept out, but you know it was too damn enticing. I thought I knew the way back, but I must have got turned around, because the vent I entered into no longer a vent where I remembered heating ducts to take me to an altered mental state where one has trouble breathing air but no trouble feeling great. To travel inside of a body, travel inside of a vein. If the home is where the heart is, then the attic is the brain, like a drain for the dust and the pain and the unwanted items in your heat vents tend to stay and die for years, until the day their bodies crumble, then give you dusty tears, filling space you thought so safe. In your room you feel the most. Are you breathing heated air, or are you breathing heated ghosts? Oh no. Well, I saw it softer than an ice cube, and it was sticking to your tongue, and I felt static start to build, and fingertips got stung, and I could taste electrons in there, though that's the slightest hint. I'm still the only one, I know it seems, who dreams of being lint. Well, now I'm lint. I'm no one that important. I'll just collect myself over there in the corner, be some sort of tangible form of boredom, sampled, then trampled, and never very far from where you are standing. Well, I'd be collected and killed off like skin cells and runoff, and sneezes and secrets and clues and insects and refuse and bleeding and breathing and heating and
keeping the secrets all bottled up and fleeing, sparking, exploding, head first in black holes, digging and deeper and faster and farther than anything that has ever lasted. And all that I hear is the devil laughing, and it keeps me together, it keeps me from blacking out, whiting out. I always know he's always right, he's always right, and he's always here, and he's with me tonight. But although he's losing and he's hooked up to tube, and I hear his voice through it, and it sounds like dust when he musters up, I love you. Okay. Thanks. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you.
That was Heat Vents.
That's right.
Where's that from?
That's from Inside of the Walls, where we met a guy who was also inside of the walls in the same apartment complex. We were just leaving a kitchen. We were leaving a party through a kitchen, and he is leaving another party in the same apartment. And we met each other up and in the ceiling. And he was an older guy, but so we made friends with him and wrote a song about him.
He's a really good guy.
And has that been recorded? Is that on a record?
Yeah, that's on the Goodness Gracious record.
Nice. Where are you guys going to play tonight?
We are going to play at Eddie's Attic in Decatur. We've never been there before, and we're looking forward to it.
I know that it's a 21 and up venue, and dude, you're trying to get me fired. Is that what you're doing?
We feel just fine about playing tonight at Eddie's Attic.
All right. Well, before we go sideways with the FCC, I'm going to finish off with one last song from Back to the Ache. Can you guys give me a good suggestion? FCC clean and a real good one.
Do we have any of those?
Blues?
Yeah, sure. You can put the Dancing to the Blues song on.
Nice. Okay. This is Dancing to the Blues. And if I heard right, this was originally a Hungry Mountain song?
Yes. It's a Hungry Mountain Heligoats song.
Very cool.
Give me some of that cotton candy watermelon flavored bubble gum. I need something to erase the taste of my previous marriage to all things corduroy. I woke up on the right side of the bed, but the sun was not shining. So I put on my favorite shoes and danced to the blues. I'm dancing to the blues. I'm dancing to the blues. Saw my friends on the top of a mountain. I was looking from outer space, using some of that new technology, and a real-time feed. I saw that they were trying to get higher. I decided I would call them up, but it seemed they were screening my phone calls, and they never, ever picked up. I'm dancing to the blues.
That was Dancing to the Blues from the record Back to the Ache by the Heligoats, which came out in March. I've been speaking with Chris Otepka and Steve Mitchell from the Heligoats. They're playing at Eddie's Attic tonight. 21 and up, doors open. Oh, I don't know when doors open. Show is at
7:30.
Show's at 7:30.
Yeah, I think we play at 9.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we can't let you guys out of here until you tell us who we're listening to.
We're listening to Charlie and North Avenue and the Heligoats and Kareem and Maria. We came here to Atlanta to WREK. This is the worst station ID. But if you can cut and paste things, feel free to use these words to make senses of your own to identify what is happening.
WREK.
What's happening?
Atlanta.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the North Avenue Lounge on WREK Atlanta. Have a good day.
Thanks, Charlie.